Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to meet the ex-councillor members of the student community. First one, Pradeep Bhagav from third year BSMS, and next Sajid Seike from PhD department. So my first question is, explain your role in the student council committee. How?
Sajid, will you start or should I?
Oh, yeah, you can go.
Okay. Apart from being a member of the student council, I was also a committee representative for the medical committee. I was also a member of the finance subcommittee, which takes care of budgets and so on.
So as a council member, so we had different committees as Pratik said. So I was a part of landscape committee as an invited member, and as well as a permanent member from the grievance cell. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So my next question is, explain how the student council works in the decision making along with the ISA administration committee for the issues regarding BSMS and PhD students.
I think we'll do this thing where we'll alternate, but it's okay.
Okay, fine.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. So I would like to make a one point first, and then we'll talk about the things. So usually there was no pandemic, and decisions would be slightly different. But this time, decisions have been taken with respect to the pandemic more. And I would like to highlight a few BSMS related decisions. And I think Sajid can talk a little bit about PhD and PhD, because I think that will sort it out better. And we'll talk about general issues, general things as well. So I think you want a general sort of answer, right? Like how is council involved in decision making?
No, actually, I want from
specific
how
answers.
the BSMS, yes, specific answers.
Okay, sure.
Okay, you can answer.
Sure. So I think this applies to both BSMS, PhD, and coursework, but I think majorly BSMS. Yeah. So before the Senate meeting, we were sent an agenda saying that we are going to conduct a Senate meeting where we are going to discuss academic aspects of the next semester. So this happened 2 or 3 times actually. What we used to do is, the first time we actually took a form, we sent it to all students asking for opinions about this, and we've also asked for suggestions from their side. And it worked very well. The people who went to the Senate, and the dean himself also presented it to the entire Senate, showing that this is the response that the council got from the students after they sent the form. And they also sort of took into consideration many of these concerns and queries, suggestions when they were making the decision in the Senate. So this is a major academic decision, I would say. With respect to academics, that is, I think, most important. The students talk to the council, talks to the Senate, and in the Senate, a lot of decisions are influenced. It has varied between Senate meetings, but this has happened.
So similar procedures for all of us had been followed in a decision making. So first of all, the council faced 2 things. First of all, it was the first council, so to get in the track, so we also we took a lot of time. And then the second problem happened after the formation of the council only, we were sent back to the home. So it was a bit difficult for us to work in that way. But anyway, the procedure in a common way we followed is that whenever we got issues from the students to the council, so we used to discuss among us, having meeting all the council members, and finally we unanimously decide what are the points we need to raise, and then we send it respective committees, and then it works. And in the Senate meeting also, we used to elect members from the council. So, and those members used to have a discussion with all the council members, and we used to raise the solid points which we want to take it forward. In that way, it worked. Yeah, for both PhDs and BSMS. Yeah.
I think you can talk about the salary thing. And
that is what, again, most of the time there has been a problem for PhDs also, during when we sent back to home. So at that time, it was like a sudden notice to get back to to send they sent to home. So for that, many students had problem with the stipend thing. So whatever we council forwarded for getting an earlier stipend, such that the students can go home uh, without any heavy stipend issues and all. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So yeah.
Okay. Is it over? Okay. Yeah, can I go for next question?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. 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 So what are the prominent decisions made by the committee for BSMS, and how does it affected students? Like during pandemic, there is a lot of changes came to a community. So how does affect the students, and what are the major decisions that made by the committee?
Should I go first this time?
So yeah.
So I'll just highlight few points from PhDs probably, but it can go with the BSMS. So like the plan that would have been it become different because of the situation, as I already mentioned. So the problems were different that we expected. So first of all, problem was like when students sent back to home, fifth year PhD students has eager to come back to the campus because they are having 4 or 5 months to work and all these things. So that is the one of the I think major decisions from PhD side that we put forward to get back at least 50 year student as soon as possible to the campus, such that they can finish and wrap up their work. And things like small things, not exactly so delaying, like postponing that MS exit program, because in that case the projects and all the like coursework got delayed, so students do not get proper time to have the proper decision. So we delayed from the council request the MS exit thing. And the couple of students have even internet issues because they have coursework, and then due to internet issues they were not able to like take the classes. And according to their request, we make the list, and then which student get preference to come back early. So those are the like decisions we, due to this pandemic situation, we like in that time. Yeah. And
I
just
would, yeah. So sorry, you carry on. I think.
No, it's fine. Right, you can.
Okay. So if I'd like to mention a small thing, even though it's small, I think it is a good thing that we did. So what when the campus opened up and then they had a good threshold number of students, they wrote to us asking for sort of a student's opinion on how the system should work. For example, in the dining hall, how students should enter, how students should exit. So we made one sort of like just like how civil engineers make these blueprints, right? So we made this whole blueprint saying that students can enter here. This could be the protocol, and I think that was enforced in a very good way, and I think it has worked also in a very good way. So these are some of the small things also that we did, and I think it's important to acknowledge that. So other than that, if I want to talk about BSMS, I think I already spoke about the academic thing. I do not want to keep saying the same thing again. So the other things that come to mind immediately include stuff such as just like Sajid mentioned. So we brought about this just with the survey itself. We talked to the admin staff saying that a lot of people have these internet issues, and I think we also sort of help with this data pack and pen drive distribution. This happened in August 2020. I don't think they're following it anymore, or maybe they are. I'm not sure. That is an administration responsibility. It's no longer ours. So that is one thing. And yes, again, I'm just repeating what Sajid said. I don't think.
Just one more point too. We have tried to focus on CDC also. That is
yes, I think this is something that
because initially it was somewhat get diluted with time. So we make it a general body, like not like limited to the council. So student involvement is more now. So that's what another point to highlight. And during those are small thing but very important when student came back. So the food thing need to be food hygiene, those things. So the council member, I recall the council member used to go to the canteen and then they used to check the food's quality time by time. Even faculty also involved in that one. So that is one of the major in that pandemic situation when people get back in the campus, maintain the situation. Yeah.
One thing that I'd like to add is that even though we might make recommendations, those recommendations are not directly reflected as decisions. They are all incorporated into the main decision. We can't go and say make an online semester, make an offline semester. We can only say add this. So for example, the science club collaborated with us. They actually came up with an idea saying that you can use Zulip for classes in Jan 2021. We actually wrote this big email. We talked to them. We wrote this email, and then some courses did it, and I think they were also very happy with the response that they got. And I think another important thing that I would like to mention right now is that in the Senate meeting that happened very recently, we asked the Senate that if there is an exam, whatever material is there in the week should be uploaded by Saturday. So I think that same line, or I forgot the day, I think it is Saturday only, but I think the same line has been mentioned in the document that Professor Bas Bapat sent us very recently. We did such recommendations. We asked them that give them at least a few days break before the exams, because not everybody could have viewed the lectures live or as soon as they popped up because of the internet issues and stuff. And I think they've acknowledged that well, and they also had that idea before, but they also said that this is the reason why we are doing it. So these small one-liners, but I think they're important one-liners. So
yeah, like I just recall, like, yeah, due to these things, pandemic situation also, we could not work for a long time, PhD students. So for that only, the half of the stipend get increased for 6 months. So in that case also, the council has tried to contribute. So that is another. Yeah.
We did ask for so I think though not directly, at least
indirectly.
No, not this. I want to mention one more thing. So I think with respect to the fee concession as well, I think after we wrote, they sent a form, so that before what they had to do is they had to write an email to the academic office. They had to figure it out how to get a concession or how to extend the date. Like they had to talk and figure it out. Now what is happening is they have a form saying that, okay, if you have a problem, you can write it down. We'll get back to you or something. So I think these are the things that, small things again, but I think they've...
like from IPSD also, there has been a lot of problem like completing the coursework. Like even this lab rotation, all these things, summer, and they cannot be done from home and all these things. So to compensate those credits, it was again a problem. So those are the problem we do not expect it, but we had to address at that time. So yeah, the different proposal had been has been given from the council, also taken from the students' idea. So how to compensate those credits and how to cover those credits.
One last thing I'd like to mention. I think Professor Bas himself has acknowledged this, but when the peak of the pandemic in the second wave came, we actually, and I think even not just this, I think even in the semester before, when I think Munsina was not a student yet, I think October 2020. So during that point as well, two of these times we actually wrote saying that, students are feeling a lot of pressure because of the continuous uploading of videos. Give a week's break, and they acknowledged that and they gave it. And they also mentioned that we had a role to play in that. But I just don't want to say what he has already said. But I still want to say this: that we've done all these sort of. I think these at an individual level. For example, if I was struggling with the fee, then the form has made a big impact. Like otherwise I had to call 4 people and then ask for, okay, who should I email now? How much will I get a concession? So these things, I think they've been streamlined in some sense. So,
yeah, it's like to understand the event severity of the problem when lots of mails from a regarding particular point, like for example, that Pratit has mentioned that fee issues. So when 10 or 5 mails came to us, to the council regarding the same, we understand what is the severity of the problem, how we need to address, or what kind of focus we need to give. So those are the, although small, but yeah, kind of crucial.
I'd like to mention one more thing. After the unfortunate incident where one of our PhD students passed away, we gave a lot of recommendations. Actually, it came from the student body as well, but we also we talked to a lot of people asking, what do you think needs to be done with respect to medical committee, and the committee itself conducted this entire meeting where a lot of students attended, and I think a good number of those recommendations that we got from students that we gave were implemented. For example, the single helpline number was, and the FAQ, and of course the FAQ had inputs from them as well. It's not just that I told and they did it, or they told and I did it. It's a joint effort, but I think all of these things have this council-driven sort of approach to them, to these sort of implementations, decisions, etc. Yeah.
Okay, so we can see so many guidelines the student community board had approached to the council and had a big impact on our batch too. Like many guidelines have been following now also. So as I said that after the community form, you guys have been sent to home because of the pandemic. So how welcoming did the professors being how welcoming did professors being with you for the new community? How did they welcome you as the student community, the faculties?
Should you go with? I think I'll start this time. Maybe.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So yeah. So since I said I was. The finance subcommittee is not a committee as such, but I'll talk about that as well. So the medical committee, the simple one-line sentence is that this was conveyed to us, saying that you are the same level of member that the others are. Like there is no, we are not seeing you as students, we are seeing you as members of the medical committee. So we had the same level of say with respect to decisions taken in the committee. So that is one thing that I'd like to say. And secondly, we are added to the list, mailing list. And if you write to the medical committee, mc@icerpune.ac.in, I get the email. So anything that is known to them is known to me via email, of course. So there are certain places where they only talk to the doctor that we can't know, and we shouldn't know as well. It is medical information of the patient. We shouldn't know that. But in case of hospitalizations and stuff, the mc@icerpune.ac.in, whoever is there, they get to know, which includes me as well right now. And eventually, when anybody else takes over, that is how it is going to be. The finance subcommittee, on the other hand, we didn't actually have to attend many committee meetings, because only one meeting where COSA sort of deliberated on the budget. That is the meeting that we are supposed to sit. And they were very welcoming, and they asked us for suggestions. And I think this is where the student factor comes in. So, for example, we had to discuss club budgets. So me talking to a club coordinator is extremely easy, rather than some faculty, for example, sending an email and then there's an email exchange. Instead, I can just talk to this club member who I know, who is my senior. So I can ask them, why is this extra 5,000 rupees required? So I could convince COSA in such circumstances, and they were extremely, welcoming to that sort of feedback, opinion, etc. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, I think already Pratit answered. Yeah, it's a common.
I think you can talk about landscape and stuff like that.
The thing is that like all the things have been converted to online, all this stuff. But yeah, I really appreciate that the landscape committee has a regular meeting, like weekly basis, to update and all these things, what is going on. But anyway, landscape involved and have a regular survey of the common areas and then plantation, all these things. So yeah, it was difficult to work from home, being like directly involved to that, because things are like you cannot, when things are not visual and just having update and all these things. But yeah, when we come back to the campus, yeah, a couple of times I went with the members from landscape committee, and we had like where the plantation going on, where it need to be. Yeah, those are the things that.
And I think I forgot to mention this. Since you said how welcoming were the members of the other committee, members of the committee. So actually, as soon as I sort of started working for medical, the chair MC was in constant contact with me through WhatsApp as well. So he used to talk to me about this, and in case there were some decisions that were required, and immediately he needed some sort of student opinion or something like that, he used to contact me over WhatsApp, and I also that sort of maintained through the tenure. Wherever we needed that sort of connection with the students, he always used to say. And then even when certain committee works were student heavy, he always used to keep this sort of connect through WhatsApp as well. So it's not just being added to some email ID, and this also happened. So, even though I was on, I haven't been on campus, so I'm talking to the others.
Okay. So did you find any difference in how the community works through online and offline? As like how it's actually, is there change? I know you don't know how that internal things work, but still, do you feel any difference? How beneficial it to be through online in compared to offline? How were you guys were in campus?
Sajid, when did you join? I don't know.
I came back in November, October last.
No, I meant when did you join ISER?
Okay, I joined ISER in 2018 August.
Then you'll have experience. I am very good.
So no, she was asking about the council, how it works, right?
Okay. Yeah, you can see any difference between how it's worked in offline and now it works to online. So like how it's is it
pre-pandemic and post-pandemic or
that's
pre-pandemic. That's why I asked.
Comparison how pre and post-pandemic comparison I'm asking.
Through pandemic, because we are not in the post phase yet, but sure.
So anyway, not that much of experience. So before going, I guess before sent to home, we had 1 or 2 times I think meeting, right? Okay. So in some
but I left very early, so I
okay, you probably So I like that's my personal opinion. So I feel like having a like face-to-face or like offline conversation or to make a decision is a better idea to have online. So I felt like kind of, but still we tried to be connected online and having meetings before going for any final decision and all these things. But exactly, I don't know what would be the final measure differences in online and offline. But yeah, we tried online.
If I may mention, because I have not had that much experience, because it was hardly like 4, 5, 6 months before I joined in 2019 August, and 2020 March we were sent back. So but what I can say is that the committees stuff, whatever happens in the committees used to be given out as decisions before. Like the first day of the first year used to be this orientation where safety committee, medical committee, each committees used to say that, okay, this is what you have to do in case of an emergency. This is the safety measures you have to take care of. This is how you operate a fire extinguisher. But now what has happened is, I think that sort of, if I may say this, every student knows what is happening inside the committee. And I agree that we haven't been as like, for 2 reasons, because not many committee meetings happened as well because of the pandemic, and secondly, we also couldn't publish everything as well. Like we have done how much ever we can. But I think if someone just randomly texts me asking what happened in medical committee, how does it work, without revealing any of the to be anonymous things, it is very easy for me to explain. It is very, very easy for them to understand as well. This sort of thing I don't think it could happen before. Maybe with mess committee it could, because the committee had student members, but otherwise I don't think so. So this is what I think is the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sajid, have anything to say?
So although I came early, I guess probably with respect to them. So I came in the campus back November, early November probably. But still we had all the meetings and all communication online. So that was so we do not had that experience of having offline much. only, as I told, only 2 or 3 meetings probably when Patitos was not there. So we had like offline meeting and then we sent back to. So probably in future, people will have more experience and compare to both like online and offline things.
Okay, so now you are in the campus, right?
Yeah, we
He
are in
is, I am
campus.
not.
Yeah, Sajid is in the
Okay,
campus.
I'm in campus. Yeah.
So how council involves in the preventive measures taken by the students, the how the life of the students in the campus and how it's affect the student council committee, like
Okay.
actually you guys have some restrictions there now because of the pandemic. So how it is resolved by the committee, student council committee, and taken by.
Okay. So restrictions are such. Okay, fine. I think these were some things that we did before the students went, right? Before they went, we had sort of this meeting with all the members. Sorry, all the PhD students who were supposed to land in campus soon. We talked to them, asking their opinions of how much, what they think about certain safety regulations, so that the committee had told us about, saying that okay, these might be the things that they'll be asked to do, or they'll be asked not to do. So we actually had a talk. What is your opinion about this? And I think the suggestions that we sent back, I think that worked well. And Sajid, would you be a better person to comment about the task force, because I'm.
So you were saying about coming back and all, right? Yeah, it's like yeah, we took a lot of survey from the students to get actual what actually they will be comfortable with the procedure that need to be followed after coming back to the campus. So yeah, in that case, the first thing that I mentioned, that like the all the priorities, to whom first we need to call, and then which batch need to get first and priority, and those are the crucial decisions, because people are in fifth year from the VSMS side, and then as I said from PhDs also, they're in the last year PhDs, and then all stipend thing and extension and all this problem slowly appeared because of this all pandemic. So we took the survey which should be get priority in calling the campus back. So in that case, we in batch wise we propose that in batch wise people need to be come back on the campus and all these things. Yeah. And even small things also, like what are the safety measurements when this quarantine thing, where it need to be done, like even allotment of the washroom. Those are very
Yes,
small things,
yes.
but those are very crucial, like because it was it was the first time for all of us. So the committee also needs suggestions from council, and unanimously everything has been decided, like which floor need, the things like which floor need to be quarantined, sorry, need to be quarantine center, how the guest house will work as a quarantine center. Those all thing involve the contribution of the council.
And
So
even
yeah.
recently, when they asked for, so for example, there was this decision taken where before, what used to happen is, in case one student, so there are wings in the hostel, so in case one student in the wing got positive, the whole wing would be quarantined for 7 days. So now the decision is that if they are not close contacts of that person who is positive, the students who have taken both doses of the COVID-19 vaccine need not go into this quarantine sort of thing. They need to be careful, definitely, but they need not go into this quarantine sort of thing. And this decision, I was also there in the meeting, even though actually it happened after the council was dissolved. But you could consider this as well, because I think as an ex-member and as a like voluntary member, I sort of gave this opinion of mine, and I think they did factor it into their decision. Yeah. So
Yeah.
If I want to mention, this is also another very small thing. So in the peak of the pandemic second wave, what happened is, there was if I'm not wrong, there was this crunch of there's this store on campus called Ankita, and I think that was also shut because they tested positive. And at that point of time, for getting groceries for students, even though it's a very small thing that we did, we still did send out a spreadsheet saying that if you want this, you please mention it over here, and in case someone has already mentioned it, don't mention it again. So I think this is also an important thing. So, for example, if someone was craving chocolate and they got it, I think it's still a small, but I think it's a significant thing.
Yeah, in a broad picture, like you whatever you want or demand, we're fulfilling through Ankita. That is one another point at that time. And things like this ticket system going out and in taking track who is going out in the campus and coming back. So in the security guard and all these things, this has been also involved contribution from the council. So those are small decisions, but yeah, at that time it was in a very crucial.
Yeah. So, as an ex-council member, what are your expectations and suggestions to the future council? What do you expect from them, and how?
Okay, so should I go first?
Yes, sure, please.
Yeah.
So the first things will be, we want more involvement of the students. So in the last council also, I felt like from at least from PhDs, number of candidate was very less. We are contesting. So this time we expect more students should come out for election and they should contest it. And the things are like, obviously this time probably it will be different than what we have experienced. So probably they will experience both offline and online. I don't know how it will going to like the situation will be, pandemic situation will be end. So anyway, so the things are that I think like, yeah. So well, decision making and having one should involve more and more like discussion before going to any like task force meeting or anything. So they need to have a final decision solid, which can directly they can go and then put forward. Because as a first council, we had some kind of those to gain that idea. Those idea we took time, a lot of time we need. We are we at the end we have some experience from that side, so that we like to like kind of giving them suggestions. So having more meeting or having more discussion will sort out those problems. And for example, like I was a member from two committees, as I said already, this landscape committee as well as grievance. So landscape committee, as I said, like in a week basis meeting they used to have. So grievance, so far we had not, like we never had like kind of frequent meeting or anything. So one need to focus and try to kind of a regular like update from those meeting also. It may not be, there may not be any issues coming from those committees to have address, but at least refreshing or what are the points they need to think about, or maybe come new ideas coming like for the next kind of meeting or something. So those need to be discussed and try to kind of sensitize those committees also, because yeah, but it can add. Yeah.
So I'd like to talk about expectations first. I think I agree with Sajid, whatever Sajid said, and about having regular updates from committees and stuff. And I expect that. I know that we haven't done it as much, but I think the records of what they do, I think they need to sort of document it better than what we did, because clearly we haven't done it properly. Like we have done it, but it's not, we, as I said, as we've been saying, this is the first council, so we tried our best. So something we've done, I think they can take it to the next level. So for example, have a very documented website which has each and every thing that they have done and each and everything that they want to ask. And yeah, so such sort of expectations and so something like that. And students have actually conveyed that in the town hall meeting that happened before. They asked for a town hall, so I think that they'll be able to do that when the next council takes over. The suggestions that I have include just that work together and do good work. I don't think there's anything specific that I'd like to offer, because I think whoever is going to be elected to the council, they are eligible enough to know the basic stuff. So I think this is what I want to ask.
Just to add, probably, yeah. So recently this incident happened in chemistry, this burning thing, right? So probably the safety committee also can get sensitized from there, and they can frequently have meeting and sensitize people like what are the primary safeties we need to take care of that. So that will be probably one thing we can learn from this incident, and can be maybe new council can address those. more severely. Yeah.
Yeah. So the elections are upcoming. So,
Yeah.
so what would you give to advice to the second years, especially second years, that we didn't have any experience regarding this and we didn't canvas. So how can you convince them to participate in elections and tell them more about how it benefits the students and how it make the campus life easy and all?
So I think I'll take this question, or I'll answer first. I think Sajid
Go
can
ahead. Fine.
answer.
Yes.
So I'd like to say that even though I was there on campus for some time, uh, I definitely not experienced the whole thing. I only knew stuff that okay, there's a committee called the medical committee, and it does some stuff I don't know. And the one thing that we were probably associated closely was the mess committee, because I had also written one email saying that okay, there was some I had some issue with the food and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say here is that I do not think a knowledge of the campus as such will have any role to play in that. All that you need to know is what the committee is doing, and that can happen irrespective of someone being in campus or not. So for example, if someone has an emergency anywhere, they need to be transported to the hospital, and in this case, because they're in the hostel, there's this protocol which does a lot of things, and you know why that protocol exists. So and this is a basic answer, that you don't actually need to know that what is there in the campus, what is there 200 meters into the campus, 300 meters into the campus. But these are basic things that any institute, or maybe in some sense any building, will have a safety committee. Even though they don't have a safety committee as such in a building, maybe they do, I don't know. So they will have fire extinguishers, right? So why is there a fire extinguisher? Keep safe. So I think in some sense it gives them some sort of belonging into the campus, even though they're not there. I think so, because I felt it myself, because I'd been on the campus for a small time. I agree with that, but I think this sort of gave that feeling that okay, yeah, you are doing something for ISO students, you are helping out your friends and classmates and so on. So that sort of thing, I think that sort of brings this sense of camaraderie, and then you're just helpful to your friends, and they're also, yeah. So this is a basic thing that I'd like to say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So before coming to the council, like I do not had like how the decisions are made, like how final outcome comes. Like it was, I was like thinking directly from the administration comes, like. So actually now we had like now we have a bit of idea how it works. So things are like it goes via kind of a like process, like one by one, from one to another, and goes like that way. So involving student in that is a very important or crucial, I believe. So taking problems from student, it would be better if students are like addressing those, because as a student they can understand what is the severity of the problem, or maybe like have a better understanding. For example, like I can give the example when people are students, 50 students are eager to come back to the campus, so for their project to complete, and as a BSMS 50 people or 40 people, they can understand what is the like problem and having issue with the internet, so they can understand what is the severity of that problem. So as a student, if they take the problems and put it forward with more like kind of a collecting all the voices, then that would be better. And being a part of the decision making, it helps to convey student also what exactly the administration is doing, or maybe how they are going all the processes, like how they are handling. Sometimes it's like we directly take, okay, they should not do these things, this is against of student, one might think of that, but it involves lots of process, and there may be some other factors which for which they took that decision. So when students become a part of that decision making, they can understand what is exactly happening, and they can forward that to students to convey them, and to have a better understanding of the process. Yeah.
I think to add on what you asked, I think I forgot this point. How would it benefit them when they get to campus? I think it's slightly like, I think it's sort of obvious, but the thing is, they know what it is. Like they don't need to be given the orientation only, so that like how we used to be told each step, saying that okay, this is the medical committee, these are the numbers that you need to contact, this is this. I think students who are in the council are like for example, people contact me usually asking for what is the counselor's number or how do I contact counselors. So these things I don't need to go and refer somewhere. I already know it. Okay, counselor at isarpune.ac.in. You just need to email them and they will come back to you. So I think a knowledge of the system itself is sort of imbibed into the students who get in if they are in second year and not meant to the campus at all. And I think the sort of they already have that in mind, that what to do when and why is something supposed to be done. So I think maybe these are some of the things, and yeah, so I think I don't have anything to add to that. Yeah.
Okay. Here the power went off. Sorry for the inconvenience. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So are you satisfied with your role played in the community and decision making, or do you believe that you can do some more work to contribute to the student community, something like that? I'm asking for, hello, can you hear me?
I was,
Yeah.
should I take this or will you?
Yeah,
No, we're just deciding the order.
Fine.
Yeah, okay.
So so you were asking about whether we are satisfied with working. Is that the question exactly?
Yeah, I'm asking, are you satisfied with your role played in the committee for the decision making and all? That, or you think you could do more or something?
No, the thing is that the being is the first council for ISA, it was all the situations were very inchoate in the beginning state. So first of all, as I said, it took time to get involved in the process, to understand the process. So with that limit, and as well as being apart from each other, kind of online thing, it get involved. So we tried our best. We did. How far we can take it take it far. So I think in the next future council it will have more contribution. We'll expect more. So I think we did we did good. Pratik, can you?
Yeah, so I think I'll talk about my personal experience sort of. So I'd like to sort of agree with Sajid on that. Like you just given the council, like we said, okay, they said you are the council. 10 days later, we were sent back, and then stuff happened. And I think we did a good job.
Yeah.
Satisfactory job based on your question.
Satisfied.
Yeah. So personally, I think being a student council member, I think I feel satisfied not just because of things that happened in some committee or task force or something, but rather on a personal scale when people connected to me, asked me for small details. For example, my friend is having mental health issues. Could you give the counselor's contact? I want to tell them. And then I would tell them, this is how it works and stuff. And or maybe some other person contacted me asking for, how do I write to the graduate studies office asking for this? I used to give them this, okay, you mention these points so that they will understand how to approach your problem, how to sort of resolve it. Or maybe how it will make your point stronger. So these small things, and when they used to work, and then they used to say that, okay, my sort of what is that? They gave me an extension date for paying the fees, and then in other there have been cases where people have even gotten an year extension on their PSMS and stuff because they had issues. So I think all these small things, when they work, I think I felt very satisfied when these things have happened. So this is not necessarily related to going to the council meeting and sitting there and committee meeting and sitting there, but they are indirectly all influenced. It's just this whole circle, and then this is where it ends, I guess. Like you feel very satisfied when these things finish. Like. So.
Yeah, just to maybe I can add on to
sure.
experience. Yeah, so it's like since I was in a third year. Yeah, I was in a third year IPSD in that time. So Yeah. So the problem that coming from IPSD is I try like I felt like personally I felt from my personal experience, as I said, like kind of more correlation with the IPSD problem. So when we were at home, so they used to like when I got we used to got multiple texts from students personally, even at the personal level also. What are the problems they are facing, and like being a third year IPSD, I used to connect more with the IPSD problems, and I used to handle couple of them, like they small problems, but those are the kind of very important at that time. So covering this credit thing, and then having stipend issues, and again, as I said, this exit, all these things, like delaying all these things. So yeah, those are the things that we tried, like at the personal level also. I think yeah, yeah, I think it was a good experience. Yeah, felt like yeah, we did.
One last thing I'd like to add, because I think this is a question that was previously asked about second year students. What would they think about, like how would they benefit in some sense? So I think one of the simplest reasons would be to connect with your classmates. Even though I was there on campus, I had seen all of these people. I had not spoken to a lot of them, but I think the being in council, I think facilitated me speaking to a lot of my classmates, getting to know batchmates, getting to know what they're doing. Is there some issue, or in general, getting to know them. I think that sort of connection with your own batch, I think you can, one person, whoever, gets into the council from second year, or not one person as in whoever gets into the council from second year, if they feel so, I think that is a very good opportunity to actually interact with a lot of people from a very diverse background. So I think that is right now people are confined to their homes. They are just looking at the laptop and looking at Google Meets and attending the classes. But I think even though it is not a picturesque view of what is happening at their friends' homes or whatever, but I think when people are in the council, they talk about their issues, and I think they are exposed to a wide sort of, basically their sort of thought process, or even their exposure is widened. That's something that is an added advantage, I guess.
Yeah, like anonymously we did a lot, like we work, but personal level also we got couple of things, and we addressed those I think satisfied us most, like everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, so as you were saying about the mental health issues that you guys were doing on, so can you elaborate more on that? How does the committee can do something that to improve improve mental health of the students and how it help the students?
I think Pratik can go with
actually.
So I think I'll go in a chronological order so that it is very easy for whatever people to understand. So beginning of the pandemic, we were elected, but we had not actually put ourselves into committees. So I was still not in the medical committee, but when I spoke in the manifesto, when I spoke in the campaign, I had spoken about medical related issues. So when the medical committee asked for our help to create a video series regarding mental health, I agreed to be part of it, and we sort of along with the medical committee, the student council sort of sent out a survey asking for what are the common issues that you're facing with respect to mental health. And there were a lot of responses. And there were 4 students who are not part of the council. They contributed to this, making the In Conversation series. So the In Conversation series basically had counselors and ICER students, 4 of them outside council, who spoke about certain issues in each session. I think there were 4 to 5 videos that were created during that time. I think after that, there has been constant monitoring of this, because after that, we took one survey of mental health. I think Kalpa also took one in the middle about mental health issues in general. We actually took looked at the data from that format. I think we incorporated that into our form, so that so what happens is that in case some people are not sort of satisfied with the counseling help that they're getting, that will get resolved, because people have filled in the form, and I think that will be taken up and hopefully resolved. Other than that, in general, the group counseling sessions was a recent initiative. This was not actually a student council proposal, but I think we had proposed it before, I guess. So they've taken it up recently. I think on a personal level, I've conveyed a lot of information to people who have asked for counselors' numbers, or maybe so people do not know whether counselors are available on WhatsApp or call. So that is one of the things that we aim to get by the survey, saying that, do you know that the counselors are reachable? Do you know that the counselors are, you can contact a psychiatrist in case you have such issues. So I think such sort of efforts have been put in the direction of helping with mental health issues. So yeah, though we cannot play a technical role, to be frank, because we can only send out forms, we can ask what is the issue that you're having and stuff, but the technical role is played by the counselors, and we act as this bridging gap. Actually, I don't think we are required for that bridging gap, but I think we make it easier for them. So we can just say that, okay, you call this number, I think they will reach, or you write to the email ID, they'll be reachable very quickly. So that's something that I'd like to say. Yeah.
Okay. Is
One
Sajid
second.
have anything to say?
Yes. No, I think he was in the medical committee. He already talked about major issues. Yeah.
I think whenever required, I think they've also urged this, right? On I think after the demise of the student, I think once that had also happened, right? Like, like there was a counseling session to the people who were close to him. Yes.
That's so, a personal level.
Yeah. At a personal level, I think they also suggested for counseling services to students who were close to the student and stuff like that.
Okay.
I believe we are nearly at the end. We have reached.
Yeah. Okay. Time.
Yeah.
So okay, thank you for your time.
No. Wait. I would like to ask a question on my personal level. So, what do you believe to be the limitations of the council as of now? And like there was a certain uproar about this whole like involvement of council in the academic committee being changed to just invitational basis. In the former draft that was made earlier, it was like mandatory for at least having a certain number of members in the academic body, academic committee as such, which was changed to which was changed to invitational, and there was
okay. So I want to ask this because I do not know where this uproar is coming from. But which draft do you mean? The draft of the constitution before the council was formed?
Yeah. So
okay, I'm not okay. Fine. Sorry.
So when the draft was actually accepted by the board of governors, this part got changed that in the academic committee, the council members get access only on invitational basis.
Okay, I got it.
There are certain committees that you get invitations to join.
No, I understood. I didn't know when the draft. I didn't understand where the draft came in. Sorry. Sorry for being.
There was some talk about this in today's meeting with Dr. Rohit and Dr. Patil. So, how do you think? Like, what are the limitations of the council and how it can be improved as such?
Should I go or?
Go ahead.
Okay, fine. So I think this is something that we need to understand that. The council is not a decision-making body. We are a recommending body, and we are this sort of facilitators of, like, we can do these things quickly. Like, we can suggest stuff, we can ask stuff, suggest, suggest, and we can also send back some decisions saying that these are our recommendations. So I think the council in itself should not be misunderstood as a decision-making body. Point number one. Point number two. And I think this is more of a personal opinion, and I'm sorry if I'm hurting people like this, but even in terms of academic decisions, a democratic academic decision may not be something that people might agree with, is what I think, because we can definitely send recommendations. I'm not saying no to that, but I am not sure whether that will be a good way to go about with respect to, say, for example, certain aspects of academics. I'm not going to go into specifics, but maybe some aspects are really good to have a democratic, but that might be a reason why it is. I'm not defending that decision as well. I'm saying that if it did happen where they stroke off the compulsory thing from the draft, that could be a factor. I'm not saying that this is a perfect decision that they've taken, but I think that could be a reason, because certain things, such as, for example, if the committee is approving grades and I don't think I should be sitting on that committee, that's because my grades are also being approved there. So that's just my opinion. So yeah. And that is the limitation of the council, is that the council is defined on a certain basis, that it's a recommending body, and of course it can make this, and it can make a unanimous thing saying that okay, this decision is not accepted, and they can take that into consideration and probably tweak stuff. But we are not a decision making body. That is not a limitation, but that is the inherent sort of thing that it's created. Yeah. Sorry, Sajid.
Yeah, you already highlighted the point. So, yeah, as he has said, again, like to mention that we do not make decisions, council. So we are the people will be suggesting what could be the best way to address some problems. So, because what happened, like from students also, a number of for example, many times it happened like two groups of people are suggesting two things, and we need to discuss about among ourselves what is the best for student we think about to suggest to put it forward. So as a council, whatever we are suggesting, we never can give an assurance that would be what coming out from the administration, or maybe from the from administration. So yeah, we were more like suggesting things, and yeah, it is possible, like we might not be agree what they have made the decisions finally, that could be possible. But yeah, so yeah, kind of a part of like, yeah, because when we involve in a kind of a task force meeting or meeting, so the final decision what comes out, we become a part of that, because we be present in that meeting also. So yeah, it might not be what we have directly suggested, may not be coming out from the decisions. And yeah.
Did you have something that was not answered? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Thinking of my answer. That's why. Huh.
No. It's cool. So it's a very important point that actually came up. But like, council may not be the decision making body, but they do have a say in decision. So it's always better to have a representation than not to have any, actually. And that's why people should try to fill more nominations as such. Anyways, I guess we're done. Musina, you can conclude now.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're muted, I think.
Yeah, you are
sorry. Okay. Thank you everyone for time and consideration.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.